Last question from one of our chuckers, Carol. What is your opinion on adding best of 5 sets to women's Grand Slam quarterfinals and up? There's some buzz around making it more competitive.
That buzz ain't going anywhere. That's just chatter. I don't like starting a tournament one way and then changing the entire dynamic of the tournament.
Seems crazy.
At a panic. And also, I think John gently went there. I think we've gently gone there. There are things that women go through, and most likely a lot of them are going through at some point over the course of a 2-week event that men don't have to go through. Okay, so very simply, that gets left out of every argument, and rolling the dice on when that happens is insane. You throw in best of 5, and there's some contrast overlap with what a woman is going through at that time. It just seems, I don't like it at all. I don't like starting a tournament in one format and finishing it in another format. I didn't like in the Masters 1000s on the men's side where you'd get to the final and they'd go, oh, well, I know you've had a long week, but fuck it. Here, let's play 7 hours before we go to a Grand Slam. I don't like starting a tournament one way and finishing it another. I think that doesn't define the best players. I think it completely changes the dynamic of what has already been accomplished in that slam up until that point.
Do we really think this is a problem? I mean, I'm making these numbers up, but the Bear is 8 episodes and White Lotus is 10. Like, I don't know. I mean, they both work. I don't think it's. I mean, I don't think it's a huge crisis that men and women are playing different durations and different sizes of set samples.
Sorry.
I don't know.
We're having to suspend matches now because
if everyone played best of 5. Yeah, if everyone played best of 5, these would be 5-week events. Yeah, exactly.
We got to move on.
Yeah, we got to move on.
Well, that's it. That's all I had for the regular episode. Chucker's questions. I can throw one more in there. Unless you
throw one more in it.
Chuck it.
I have one, but go first. I have one from my friend Jeff, and I want you all's input on this. But go ahead.
Okay, so I think the last one, it's a softball, but I think it's worth talking about. Curious about, this is from G Bags. Curious about your take on the rise of paddle and pickleball. Does tennis need to evolve to keep up?
Our numbers, like there's a way to sell certain things. Right? If 7 people play something, you can quickly become the fastest growing sport on earth by having 14 people play it. Right? If you look at the ratings of tennis, our dumb little show did tens of millions of views in the last month. And that's not because we're anything great. It's because the product that is out there for tennis right now and the way that it is having a moment, I don't know that we've been more pop culturally relevant since the early 80s in tennis. So no, we don't adjust to things that are starting out. Other racket sports adjust to us. It's that simple.
How does tennis manage to convert all these athletes who are understanding now what it means to hit a really nicely placed slice and what touch comes from hitting a drop volley? I mean, to me, it's like an opportunity for tennis, nothing to fear and nothing to adjust. It's sort of, hey, there's a whole new cohort of recreational athletes that are discussing, they're experiencing how cool it is to, hit a ball with an implement. How do we get them to come to Cincinnati? That to me is the question.
I'm for all of it. But I will say, like Padel, from what I've seen, everyone's looking this way at Pickle, and I would be stunned if their viewership on what's being placed on TV has changed at all in the last couple of years. I'd love to see the data on that. Maybe it's grown incrementally, but Padel is extremely watchable. How do we consume information now, right? It's in small pockets. Our attention spans are about 3 seconds long. You put the best Padel rallies on TikTok, holy shit, they're insane. People are flying everywhere. That is athletic, right? So I like Pickle for the best parts of Pickle are also the worst parts of it. Everyone can do it. Simultaneously, the best and worst parts of it. The best for participation, the worst for watching it on TV, right?
Have you played Padel? Have you tried that?
No, and I want to. It's insane.
It's fun.
I've heard like every great, like really good tennis player who plays Padel says it's awesome. Everyone who like goes to Pickle, unless they're getting paid for it and have to have a certain narrative, is like, it's fine. Yeah, it's fun. It's good. But I think Padel's legit. But also, it's like, listen, tennis versus Padel. Like, we're Michael, they're Tito.
Well, yeah, I don't know why one thing has to get the other, right? I think at the Miami Open, right? They had a big paddle, they had a big paddle event, and they had a big paddle event outside the Miami Open at the same time. It's kind of a bonus. It's kind of a bonus, right?
Tennis numbers are doing as well as they've done in I don't know how long. Everyone has a streaming deal. Everyone is pop culturally relevant. The biggest athletes on earth are like, people can't get enough of the Alcaraz and the Sinners and the Cocos and the Igas and the Sabalenkas and like the whole thing. We're in a great spot, so we don't need to adjust. We need to keep on keeping on.
Oh, that is it for our fan Q&As. And after the break, Andy, I have a good question. I have something to play for you.
No.
Question.
Don't you force me into a break.
Yeah,
Fuck that. Yeah. You don't control me.
All right.
Here we go. I got one for you. Important training. This is from a buddy of mine who I played.
You got one more question.
I got one more question. I just want your opinions. Everyone jump in here. Important training question for you. Big match in NYC in 10 days on grass. However, the night before, I'm going to a cocktail bar, a baller dinner with a wine pairing and another cocktail bar. So the question is, do I not drink and train as much as possible between now and then, or do I crush drinks every night to prepare my body for what I will do to it? A real conundrum.
So basically, the question is does he maintain a full cycle knowing that that's what his 48-hour cycle will be ahead of his event? So he trains at altitude essentially, but trains at alcohol.
Are we focusing the training on tennis, or are we focusing the training on being the best hungover player and preparing yourself for that if you have a big match in 10 days? Or is it some sort of hybrid? I'm open to suggestions. Don't know, guys.
Is there an ITIA? Is there a WADA component to this?
No,
because an IV might help him.
Everything's on the table. No testing.
I think you got to rally. What do you think?
Yeah, I think you're training hungover. I think you're going hard.
No, you guys are wrong.
You think?
I think you go 3 days off, 3 days peak training, diet tight, 1 day big, and then force your way through 2 hours. And so you get a couple of sample runs, but in the middle, your body's peaking. I think you gotta go staggered training on this one. I think you gotta go. My body is a wonderland for like 3 days. And then I think you got to let it rip, tater chip, and then know what you're dealing with. Maybe mess around with a morning IV like JW is talking about. Like, figure out peak performance, but then the offset of recovery that morning in a panic when that headache creeps in about, and you get the wine sleeps and it creep in about 4:30 a.m., right?
It's going to be sweating, alcohol.
Age is a factor in this. How old is this person?
Yeah, right.
He's old, but also he knows his way around the bar. No, he's not. Well, he's older than me. He's not 32. To your point, he's like the rest of us. That's why I'm asking you. He's like us.
Yeah.
It's like, he wants to be as good once as he ever was. That type of thing. Anyways,
That's
I thought that was
question. That's a good hypo.
Great question.
Can,
All right,
can
Mike.
we track his training? Should we throw a camera with him?
I was going to say we need to can we sponsor this guy? Can we?
We should. Yeah. But we should have him on for a segment and see what he actually ended up choosing and how bad it got.
Yeah.
Should we throw a patch on him?
You got something up your sleeve. What are we doing?
This is nothing I created. This is something you created by talking about tennis players being the greatest athletes, which I think we all agree.
What sport's coming for us? On what sort of, who wants, there's going to be, this is my prediction, there's some sort of matrix between publicity, ego, and
delusions of grandeur.
Another former athlete of in some way, shape, or form.
I think it's our friends over at Gil's Arena, our friend Gilbert Arenas, our buddy Josiah Johnson hosts, and he teed up your commentary about answering what Gilbert was saying about basketball players and tennis players not being the best, that they could all do it. You obviously answered by this challenge, which we'll play the clip here real quick.
I'll throw out a challenge. I'll play them left-handed in tennis and they won't get a game.
All right, so Andy, you obviously challenged him to a match where you would serve underhanded and then you would play left-handed. You would do no spins or anything. Josiah played him that
I didn't say I would do no spins. I said I would serve underhand and that I would play left-handed. I can't help if the ball comes off spinny on the left-handed side.
On the serve, you're not going to hit him with a weird...
No overhand. I'm just going to feed it. I'm going to feed it in and then If he accepts this, Chop City left-handed.
Okay, and so then our friend Josiah obviously played him this challenge, and the rest of the guys on the show, which Kenyon Martin wanted to point out that he was on your side. He wanted to make sure that was officially in the record. But Gilbert Arenas had eventually had this to say.
Well, let's get back to Andy Roddick's challenge real quick. Would you play Andy Roddick?
No.
If he played left hand, served right hand.
I want to serve, so he got to start left hand.
So Andy Roddick,
Because I heard him, he snuck it in there. I get to serve underhanded with my right.
Yeah.
No. Let me serve first.
Okay.
Ooh.
Let me serve. And I'm going to beat him. Challenge accepted.
Uh-oh.
Hey.
That was real right there.
Yeah. I'll say it one more time for the ISO cam. Get one more time for the ISO cam.
Challenge accepted.
All right, Andy, there you have it. Challenge accepted. What are you thinking?
I mean, this is going to be what did remember when they asked Mr. T in the Rocky movie for a prediction? Do you remember what he said?
Pain.
He looked into the camera and he said, "Prediction, pain." That's what I think. That's what I think is going to happen. This is going to be a mess. It's going to be a mess. I can't wait. Let's do this.
I mean, they talked about he said maybe playing 2v1 even too. If it could be two of them versus one of you. He's like, oh, they do that. I'm like, I feel like we have to work it out. I feel like that's all going to be negotiated in the contract, huh?
Yeah, I mean, if these guys don't play, like here's my point, and here's the overarching point about tennis players, is if we took every neutral sport, right? We could take them, like tennis left-handed, I'm going to chop them up. That's fine. The next one is like if we went into a batting cage or like home run derby, tennis players, I'll put them up against it. Golf, I'll put it up against it. You know, all the hybrid, throwing a football, I'll put them up against it. Like those are all the things where tennis players, I think, translate very easily. But yeah, tennis bet, let's do it. They could have 3 people on the court. Let's roll.
JW, would you participate?
I would happily participate, and I would say broadcast rights still available. It's slow. It's summer. We're all waiting for the NFL to start. This sounds like the kind of thing I would watch as well.
Hey, listen, if they get like 3 points, you never know. They might be given a wild card somewhere to create some interest.
I don't know what you're talking about.
They should set their sights higher. You know, if we play well, who knows? JW, it could be your shot, buddy.
I know my limits. I respect the levels of the game.
Mike, we got anything else, or are we gonna end on that carnage of a challenge?
We're gonna end on that carnage of a challenge. I think be sure to sign up for our newsletter, follow us on all the socials, join us, hit subscribe, join the Chuckers Club. We're gonna do a couple more questions just for the Chuckers here once the show goes off air, and we'll share those with those folks.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to everyone listening. Our numbers and the players, by the way, because we're just reacting off of the product that the players put out there. So the players creating record-setting matches, record viewership, playing at such a high level. We all benefit. So thank you, players. Thank you, listeners. Our numbers in the last month have been crazy. Please keep subscribing. Please keep telling us what you want to hear more about. We appreciate you taking this ride with us. And we'll see you next week with Iga Świątek on Serve.